Excuse me. Okay. All right. Libra, it's your turn. Hi. This is Tarot Illumination. This is your love and relationship report for December 2017. Okay. You know the drill. Cards are well shuffled in advance. Okay. But we keep shuffling to the last second. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Sorry. Just trying to keep it as simple as possible for everybody concerned. All right. So, Libra, sure, you've been dealing with this huge Uranus and Aries opposition for a long time now. And it's going to be over in the middle of next year, but you're still in the thick of it. So, what can I tell you? It's happening right there in your 7th house of very significant relationships, like weird awakenings, shocking surprises, unexpected situations that all lead to higher understanding, even perhaps in ways that you might not enjoy or have anticipated or could have ever even barely expected or understood, but it's still happening anyway. And there's kind of no way out of it. So we just deal with it. Also, Jupiter and Scorpio is going on. You know, that's like in your, what is it? Your, sorry, I'm getting confused. Oh, excuse me. I'll just shut up about that one. It's in your 2nd house. Okay. 2nd house of value and values. Okay. Huge chances for reevaluation, transformational healing at the deepest core levels about what is really going on. What do you really want out of life? What do people really see in you and value in you? What do you really value in yourself and others? Okay, stuff like that. Big shifts and big changes. Also, Saturn is moving into Capricorn, which is going to affect everybody. So that's going to be in your 4th house. So that's stability of home, family, relationships, security. You know, where do you sleep? How do you protect yourself? Who are your people? You know, how do you keep things solid and grounded? Anyway, so there's going to be a lot going on, a lot of shifts and changes going on, and it's just how it is. I hope I don't sound like I'm full of doom and gloom. It's just that big changes are happening here in December, and in January you're going to know it for sure. All right? So cards are well shuffled in advance, like we said. We're going to cut now. As you can see, we kept shuffling, but we're going to cut really steep cuts so that we break up any clusters. That's what I like to do. Now we're going to read for you. It's on the understanding that there's you, Libra. There's a significant other. There's deep inside of you. There's deep inside a significant other. And then there's the relationship itself, which has its own integrity, identity, and energy. Okay? And in a healthy, loving relationship, it's well understood. It's vested. You invest. You nurture. You maintain. And it's work. Yeah, sure. So what? It's worth it. Can you see the bowl shape here? That would be the energy in the shape of a crucible. That would be the relationship itself. And the crucible is a structure which is designed to endure withstand intense pressures under intense duress. That can happen in relationships, okay? So it's very, very important, the status of the relationship. We're going to look at the circumstantial energy. Let's just call it weather. It's what you have to deal with, just like everybody else. We're going to make the best of it. And what did we say earlier? Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. You know the drill. Squish it all together. And you can even do that cross-watching thing that people do now. So you can like have a perspective on what the other one's about, what they're doing. Let's have a look. King of Cups. So Libra, it might be that you're in a time period right now through December where you are either having a chance to really rise up and, let's say, rise to the challenge, so to speak, where there might be a lot of emotional let's say, very deep subliminal turbulence that's going on inside of you and around you in your world that in some ways is almost like nothing to do with you. It's not your business. It's just that it affects you because we live in a world of relationships. You know, there's you and then there's your people. And your people might be going through all sorts of ups and downs. And then there's you. Hopefully, the circumstantial energy is indicating that, dear Libra, this is a time for you to keep your act together, hold it together no matter what, because, like it or not, other people are counting on you. And also, this is you, Libra, could be like, oh my gosh, I got to keep my act together because there's a whole lot of stuff going on around me that I don't understand. And it's really upsetting. Oh no. But don't worry. Let's have a look at you. What's going on? Okay. So you might get wobbly. You might be just getting wobbly through this time period right now. And, you know, Libra, with the Gemini and the Sagittarius energy in December, you know, we got this full moon, Gemini, Sagittarius. Those energies are actually quite, you know, nurturing for you. They're quite supportive of you. And the new moon in Sagittarius towards the end of the month, like, you know, almost holiday time and the solstice thing and all of that, that's very supportive of you too. But it's happening at the very tiniest, latest degrees of Saturn and Sagittarius, which is a very high pressure moment. The 29th degree, it's they call it the anoretic degree. It's like the last moment of absolute pressure to make sure everything that gets done, that needs to be done at the end of this long Saturn cycle. And so, despite all the wonderful potential goodness, you might be feeling a little wobbly. Okay, let's just admit it. Okay, even in your most diplomatic, capable, extreme skills of relationship management, where you always seem to find ways to get things harmonious and balanced, you might be wigging out. Okay, no harm intended here. Is all of us have our, like, let's say, our limits where we get to a point where, you know, this is just, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. I can't handle it. I feel like I'm being hazed or phased, or there's stuff going on out there that freaks me out. And it's okay, Libra. Don't worry about it. It's just a phase, okay? It's just a chapter. We have 12 of these chapters that go through every year, and we're just living through one now. So it might be that you're at a point where you're having to do things that you don't really like to do, like maybe trust your intuition or trust in the tiny glimpses and hints of what to do and where to go and how to do it without even really hardly having a glimpse. And even if you do have a glimpse, not even really hardly knowing what to do with it. So let's not freak out about that. There is still light, okay? But you might be having to rely and like really tune into your like lunar subconscious self here, as opposed to your preferred state of being, the harmonious, balanced Libra, who is always concerned about harmony and balance, almost even to the extent of sacrificing the self in the process, just to keep the status quo, just to keep everything just nice, where sometimes it just isn't nice, and that's a problem. Okay, it might be that there's an awful lot of stuff going on right now that's very turbulent and very confusing for yourself and for other people, and it's very, very important to maintain your, let's say, your dignity, your sovereignty of self through this period, for your own sake. All right, Libra? No matter how wobbly you might be feeling, right now it's like, keep it together. Okay, Libra? Keep it together. What about a significant other? Oh, don't be scared too much. I mean, you know, the Three of Swords usually scares everybody out of their wits when they see this, you know, loving and a loving relationship reading. And sure, yeah, there might be some, let's say, hints of things not working out the way you would like, or whether they should be, according to like the way Libra loves things to be, which is harmonious, fun, happy, balanced, happy family, happy home, happy foundations, where in fact there's something perhaps very deeply, let's say, very deeply, deeply buried, subtle that's going on, which involves heartache, heartbreak, perhaps some kind of energy of treachery, betrayal, lies, deception. Maybe, maybe you're aware of it, maybe you're not. Maybe your subconscious is hinting things to you because you can feel it, but the last thing you want to ever do is acknowledge it in your day-to-day day-to-day waking life, because that would be acknowledging something that's potentially very, very painful. So for you, Libra, you might be in a relationship dynamic where there is, let's say, some triangulation going on. Maybe you're with a loved one who has, let's say, gone elsewhere, or they are seeking solace and comfort somewhere else with someone else because they are not able to manage or handle whatever is happening inside the relationship with you, Libra, for reasons perhaps unexplained, unknown at this time. Literally, like, what the bleep is going on here? What the heck is going on? And of course, in your Libra harmonious, balanced self, you're probably very deeply concerned about the welfare of yourself, the welfare of the other, and the welfare in the context of the relationship. So it's like circumstantial energy is forcing you to maintain your stature, your dignity, your honor, uh, for the benefit of everything and everyone, knowing that there's something perhaps very sad and tragic going on deep in the background, which is not really being, let's say, openly dealt with, okay? So you're having to deal with it in your own way, whether you like it or want to do it or not. So that's a bit tragic. Sorry, Libra. Let's have a look deep inside of you. What's going on? Oh, so maybe you really are feeling it. Oh, so, maybe this reading isn't going to resonate with all you Libras. This is very subjective. Tarot Illumination it's a highly subjective energy. It's purely what Tarot Illumination feels at the time of the reading. And there's a lot of energy and current that flows through this body when readings are conducted. And when I do readings for people, just letting you know, Libra, I almost disappear as a person, and energy flows through me, and I'm simply and literally just putting words to energy. So please forgive me if this is not resonating nicely with you. I'm sorry, okay? I'm doing the best I can. I like to see the optimism when I can, wherever I can. However, with the Five of Cups going on deep inside of you, there might be this energy of deep sense of woe and grief and loss and suffering, and it might be very, very closely connected to this breach. Let's say there's a breach in matters of love where I'm sorry, I don't want to lose it here, but I'm losing it here. I'm sorry, Libra. This reading is affecting me personally because the energy is quite strong and I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling you. Now, I don't know what's happening. I don't know you. You don't know me, but I'm feeling it. And like, if this is happening in another person, in your significant other, and your subconscious knows it and feels it, and your deep soul level knows it, and it's bringing heartache and grief and sorrow, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry to report this. I feel bad about giving this reading to you, but I'm not going to stop, okay? Please don't think of things like blame or all the shadow aspects of what this could imply. Please allow Libra that you're just being you and they're just being themselves. And because this is a love and relationship reading, the energy of love and relationship exists, except that it might be in very, let's say, fragile condition right now, and I'm sorry to report that. What's going on with them? It might be with the Three of Wands here that it's just consequential. It's almost like it's no wonder. As far as they're concerned, it's almost like there's a sense of inevitability here. And their own world, their own actions, their own behavior, their own decisions, whatever is going on with them at the core of their soul, the core of their being, it's coming into reality. It's manifesting. For example, if there is a breach here between you, dear Libra, and a significant other, to the point where it's evident inside of themselves, but it's not openly, let's say, expressed in the context of relationship, where in the context of a relationship, the significant other is very, very aware of this energy inside of themselves. They are aware that there is a breach, that there is a little bit of tragedy here in some way, in that perhaps there's another party involved, and that's just how it is. We are human beings. We love, and we love, and we love ourselves. We love each other. We love others. And things are sometimes in a state of flux. Sometimes we're with somebody and then we love another. We're with another, then we love somebody. And sometimes that doesn't go down too well in the traditional energy of a binary relationship. And in the depths of their soul, it's almost like they already knew that this was happening. They already know that this is... God, I'm sorry, Libra. That this is how it is. And it's like, well, what do you expect kind of energy? This may have been long in coming, or it might be just a very recent awakening, but either way, that's what I'm feeling. Let's have a look at the status. A little bit of woe is me. So it would make sense to me, Libra, if you're, let's say, doing everything you can to maintain the status quo, maintaining your dignity, maintaining your honor, in the presence of very, very deeply challenging, heart-wrenching awakenings, circumstances, realizations. It might leave the relationship itself kind of in the doldrums. In other words, it's that sort of, it's almost like this inevitability. Well, what do you expect? With the Four of Cups here, it might have been that there are long-term issues of like, could have done this, should have done this, if only this, coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's like energy flows where attention goes. And if a relationship is left on autopilot, if two parties are very deeply, lovingly committed to some degree, to some extent, but there are certain aspects of the relationship that are abdicated and left and like, you know, switched onto autopilot, you can almost guarantee that at some point it's going to fall in the ditch. It's a little bit, it feels a little bit sad, and it feels a little bit tragic to me. But there's also a sense of inevitability here, like, well, like it's almost like we knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. They knew this was going to happen. And what can you do when you take your eyes off the situation, when you just let's say enjoy the love for what it is and then just appreciate it, and you just kind of go on with the comforts and the autopilots and the role playing and all of that, and just doing what's supposed to be done, honoring everything according to, let's say, the social graces, which is very, very, very important for Libra. It's still a problem if certain core ingredients are not acknowledged. If there's some core element of the relationship that has been neglected or abandoned in some way or another, simply because of lack of attention, lack of focus, then it's kind of, what do you expect? There is a little Ace of Cups here. It's not like it's the end of the world or anything. A lot of love might be lost. There might be a lot of, let's say, bleeding in the heart, so to speak, and there might be an inevitability here, and it might be painful for you, Libra, at the core of your soul, and at the same time, you may be doing everything you can to conduct yourself as though everything is just fine, simply to respect yourself, respect the other, respect the relationship. So I understand that, and I feel that as very honorable and very dignified. However, we're still dealing with something that is a little bit sad here, almost tragic. I hate to say it. What does that lead to? Okay. So Libra, my feeling here is that it's almost another, again, I'm feeling like it's an inevitability. It's like what do you expect? What do you expect? And it's like no matter how much love is there, no matter how much love was invested, sometimes things change. Okay, we change, we evolve, we transform over time. And what may be going on here for you, Libra, is that you're simply living through life. Okay, I'm sorry to like just give up on the reading itself by just saying, oh, you're just living through life and shit happens. Yeah, sure, but you know, relationships take work, time, commitment, investment. You can't put everything on autopilot. You can't just say, I love you, honey, let's hook up, let's make this stuff happen, and then just put everything on autopilot. Put it all on cruise control like you're on a jet airliner and someone else is flying the ship and you know you're going to get to the destination just fine. No, it's your ship. You own it. You have the steering wheel. You have all the buttons. It's yours. You guys own it. And if if things are the way they are right now, where this looks as though there's some kind of breach, and then the relationship ends up having to go through this, where there's this deep realization that there's love lost, then the healthy way to deal with it is please accept it as an inevitability, as a profound, let's say, rite of passage into the world of deep soul healing, deep transformational, vibrational energy healing, which is inevitable, which is very much to do with Jupiter and Scorpio right now, which might be a very kind of rude awakening uh, for you, Libra, and that maybe this is stuff that you needed to know. Maybe something that was simmering for a long time and now it's becoming very self-evident, and things are being cut away. Relationships, people, attitudes, perceptions, conditioning, situations, home environments, people in your family and home environments, things are shifting, chopping, changing in ways that there's no going back. And ultimately, Libra, that's for your salvation. That is for your ultimate healing and goodness. And there is a beautiful, beautiful, I don't know if you can see it here, this beautiful new sunrise through the new portal over here. It's just that the process of getting there might be a little uncomfortable. Please see this card as ultimately about love and healing, about the healing power of love coming and entering into your life in ways that you might not have expected, in ways that might be a little shocking, a little uncomfortable, a little tragic, a little sad, and like it was to be expected at some point anyway. And don't be scared. Allow for these things to happen, okay? You're going to maintain your dignity anyway, however it pans out. I'm sorry I came unglued there earlier, Libra. I'm doing the best I can for you guys. I really do try. And I have to call it out as I see it and I feel it. And I don't like to fake it, okay? And I'm sorry for not having a better interpretation for you, especially at the holiday season. I'm sorry. Bye. All the best.